what more appropriate time than now to pull the curtain back a little bit and talk about what's been going on and how I've evolved, both myself and this company, over the past few months, and what the future holds. Hello, and welcome to Enter the Nebula, episode 30. My name's Mike Ergo, and this week's episode is a special one. If you've been following along, you know that 7 months ago I had my position eliminated at my employer and have been looking for a new full time job as I also continued to build my company, Intellectual Nebula, and see what kind of doors that would open as well. And as of this past Tuesday, June 10th, I have accepted a new full time job with E Plus and am super excited to start there. But thought, what more appropriate time than now to pull the curtain back a little bit and talk about what's been going on and how I've evolved, both myself and this company, over the past few months, and what the future holds. Because obviously joining E Plus and having my own IT consulting company is not going to be something that will work out. It's a little bit of a conflict of interest, right? So evolution is necessary. And I think the question that many people think is, how and when is it appropriate to evolve? Well, for me, Intellectual Nebula was something that I created in 2019 to have a place to post my photography and book the business that I did, mostly in photography, some graphic design, some athletic coaching, some professional coaching, but all on the side. And I needed a place to book it. And I also wanted to have an independent brand that I could grow. And really, over the past 5 years, from 2019 to 2024, it has been a massive passion of mine. And I think it's important, for me at least, when I'm doing different activities, to ask myself two questions. One, is this activity something that I'm getting value out of? I don't like doing things that I'm not finding valuable. One of the things I love to do is build Legos. As you can see behind me, I love doing it. It's very decompressing, it's therapeutic for me. And the second question I love to ask is, am I doing something that's bringing value to others? And for me, when it comes to Intellectual Nebula and posting photography and maybe some silly blogs or things like that, I've always gotten feedback that people love to see it. And I think that that's awesome. Whether or not you're a fan of bird photography or landscapes or whatever I post, if it brings somebody a little bit of joy or a smile, puts a smile on their face for the day, to me, that's worth it. So when I found out my position was being eliminated in October last year, I thought, why not evolve Intellectual Nebula to be some kind of consultative company or be a place where I can book fractional work while I look for a full time job? Fractional roles have become more and more popular as companies shrink the amount of FTEs they like to have on their payroll. So it allowed me to do something and position myself in a way where I could be looking for a full time job and also accept part time work and keep myself busy too. I think the more, when you're looking for a job, you're idle and your mind starts to race, it can be a very sensitive and stressful place. I've had a few people ask if I'd write a blog about my journey and finding a job, and I think that's something I will write eventually. But for now, what I want to talk about is what's next for Intellectual Nebula. And I think it's evolving a little bit in a way where we're not regressing, but kind of going back to what it was before. Focusing a lot on photography, a lot on videography, some graphic design work that I've done. I've worked with companies like TikTok, which has been very cool, to develop some logos. So, working on that in my free time, but also what I have gained over the past few months for the first time are some really cool professional mentees that I've been coaching. And I would like to continue to do that. So you'll find that I have, depending on the time availability outside of regular work hours, some open slots for people if they're interested to have a coach mentor relationship. I would be willing to take on a few more. So if you're interested in that, reach out and let me know. And then also running some leadership workshops. I've been approached by a few different organizations to potentially run some leadership workshops in the future. And I think that's something that I'll be able to do, whether it's with a sports team or coaches or maybe a smaller nonprofit organization, always looking to continue to help people be the best that they can be, whether it's in leadership, whether it's in their job, whether it's in life. I am perpetually a coach. I will always be a coach. And I thank all of you for the support and feedback over the last few months as I navigated this experience. But more importantly, I want to thank publicly my family for being very supportive and patient as I uh, again navigated this most difficult time for me. I love to work. I love to contribute, and sometimes when you're in between jobs, you can feel like you're not contributing, and that is something that can wear on someone like me. So um, again, a major thank you. Uh, but think about evolving. Think about for you, if you're watching this, how are you evolving? Because I look at life like building a muscle. You're never really maintaining muscle. You're either building it or you're losing it. And I think that's how we can look at evolution as a person. You're either growing as a person or you're kind of reverting back to um, maybe old habits. So I think evolution is important. I think it's also important to remember those two questions. Are you getting value out of the activities that you're doing? And are the activities that you're doing providing value to others? And I think that can help you gauge what activities are valuable as you evolve. So to wrap it up, thank you for listening to this week's episode. Again, a little bit of a ramble there as to what's going on. A lot of changes coming in the future. I'm going to continue the newsletter and these episodes. I hope you continue to watch and read. You'll be able to follow along all of the changes on my website, intellectualnebula.com, where you can also read the full article. If you're looking to continue to support, please make sure you're liking and subscribing to all of my channels. They're here, posted up on the screen. And also comment. I would love to hear your comments. The more comments that I have helps drive traffic to the posts, but also helps maybe spur some conversations that may be helpful for others. So again, thank you for listening. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next time.